Welcome back, Dune Spice Warriors. It's FitzBro, and we've got our very first community update, #1 here for you for Dune Spice Wars. It's in its early access, but you can download and play on Steam, Xbox, Game Store, whatever it is. $29.99 is the price, and this game is so much fun. For an early access, I am been overly impressed how well they've put this game together, how much content is there, so few bugs. I mean, you expect there to be some bugs in early access. It's been great to play. I've got countless hours, and I'm excited to see what updates we have coming. The very first thing we're going to learn here is community update #1 is now live. With this update, we have made a number of changes based entirely on the feedback and suggestions of our players since launch, bringing a ton of new content, reworks, bug fixes, and more to the game ahead of our next major update, multiplayer! Woo! Make sure you show me some hype down in the comments section if you're ready for this. So, multiplayer's not here yet, but they're saying that's the next update. So it's right around the corner, which, you know, not too bad. This just came into early access, you know, just a month ago, and now we've got our first big update. Things are going great here for Dune Spice Wars. By the way, if you're new to the game or looking to get into the game or looking for some strategies to get to the next level, I have been able to beat the insane AI, and I've got some tutorials on the channel. Go take a look at those, especially my spice optimization guide. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can find that. And as always, make sure you subscribe for my future videos. As Dune releases new content, I'll be covering those changes just like we are here today with this news. So let's dig into them. Very first change, new 10K hegemony bonuses for every faction. They show this screen cap of a siege. I have no idea why, because this has nothing to do with 10K hegemony, at least from what I'm seeing here. Atreides, permanent production bonus upon being elected for a positive resolution. Okay, so you can get a production bonus. Man, that's gonna be an easy one for them because they like win all the resolutions anyways. Harkonnen can convert captured agents. Okay, I would think Harkonnen would just assassinate them, but you can convert them. Smugglers can build underworld headquarters in enemies' main bases with new buildings. So when it says enemies' main bases, I'm assuming that means like their capital city, and you can put some new buildings in there. I wonder what those are going to be, but that should be exciting. By the way, if you have not played Smugglers yet, they do have this option in enemy-controlled villages. You can build these underworld headquarters and get some production, whether that's a resource or intel or whatever it might be, or maybe some kind of military boost for when you're attacking. Really, really cool how this faction operates. And maybe I would say that it feels like the more complicated civ to get started with, or faction, but it's actually, I think, kind of easy. Just click on it, add some buildings, get some extra production. It's pretty cool. Fremen can build special buildings in allied sieges. So I wonder if that's you know what? That's what the screen cap is for. I think it's supposed to be down here. So it looks like you can build, similar to the underworld headquarters probably, you can build these special buildings in allied sieges. So those are the natives, or if you've played Civ, the barbarians, right, or whatever. If you ally with them, right, you trade for them for a while and you get this to 100, it looks like you're going to be able to build in the allied sieges. Unique actions queue system. Shift, right click. Woo! So if you've played any other RTS, you know about this business already. So before, you couldn't really queue up actions. So if you don't want to walk straight through the desert, instead of having to babysit your troops walking, now you can shift and right click their actions here. So that'll be a great improvement. Good to see that core kind of mechanic added to the game. New click feedback for actions actions with associated colors. Okay, so gonna be some color feedback with that. Here's a combat view. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Drones. Now, beep and boop. Sounds very important. We need our drones to beep and boop. So I assume there's some additional sounds added to our drones here. Auto pause when opening menus can be turned off in-game options. Oh. So obviously this is not, I doubt this is going to be available for multiplayer, but so when opening menus, I'm assuming this means like the diplomacy menu, or maybe even the voting menus. Like this is going to auto pause now, because I've been honestly just hitting spacebar every time I do. But that sounds like a nice little improvement there for you. So you don't need to waste time or miss something. Don't get eaten by the sandworm while you're trying to vote. It's always good. Okay, added the option to remove communication requests. Is that so they can't to remove them? Does it make it so they don't communicate with with you, or just to dismiss the request altogether? I'm not sure. It might be others. I'm not entirely sure on that. We do have to check in game. New special region, the White Rift. Okay, I think they posted these screen caps on Twitter. I saw these, but what do they have? The White Rift. Does it show the resource? I'm not seeing. Maybe it's a special region. It is a special region. So what will it give you, I wonder? I see Plascrete icon there. I see it looks like a knowledge icon there. So they added the Acid Lake and the White Rift. So new regions to get. So that's cool. I'm sure you'll get some it's a Gemini bonus for that too, I'd imagine. New Underworld headquarters buildings. Workers Guild, weapons dealers, and activist quarters. So this is going to be for the smugglers. There's Underworld headquarters you can install in enemy villages. Retake of some units' blocking radius to match with their unit size and reinforce their role in the roster. So maybe this is going to make it so your larger units actually take more space and your smaller ones don't and can move about appropriately. I can imagine it's going to have a slight impact to your micro of your units. Oppressed trait is removed upon a rebellion. So that would be for the Harkonnen. That oppression ability looks like it's going to be removed while there's a rebellion going on. So I guess that will decrease the bonus it would have at the time, or maybe even right after, I wonder. So I'm not sure if it would maybe kept it before. Marauder Camp Discovery. Okay. Doesn't really say what it is. I guess it just says, I don't know, it doesn't have a ton of clarification. Development Advanced Thumpers. Ooh. Advanced Thumpers. It's going to be a new development for the Fremen. Wonder what an Advanced Thumper could do. Can it go even further? Or maybe get more of them? I don't know. Interesting. A village building is an investment office. I would just say for the patch notes, I do wish they put a little more detail next to this, because while I have ideas about what these might be, I don't want to have to go stare at everything in game. But maybe that'd be just too much typing for them. They just don't care to. Harsher penalty for losing too much Landsrat standing. I have definitely ignored the Landsrat standing at times and thought that doesn't really matters a whole lot. So that sounds like a harsher penalty. It's probably going to give you some harder economic losses. I'm ready for the Imperial Guard to show up and burn down your villages when you don't pay the standing. Missing complications. Mission complications UI rework. So that's going to just be a small UI tweak. Alert for the council speaker when they are allowed to re-roll the resolution. So that's a special role you can be elected to on the council. Sounds like you're gonna get an alert now when you're allowed to. If you get elected to that position, you can re-roll the resolutions. So now it's going to let you know so you don't miss that. The Kulon Caravan. Now that's for the Fremen. I guess it's getting a death animation. Maybe it didn't have one before. My Kulon caravans never die in the desert. They were sitting there set up after a battle, and you bring your troops back, and you're like, the Kulon caravan still chilling. Confirm prompts when clicking a button in the escape menu might make you leave your current game. I'm assuming that's like a bug fix. I don't think they've added that, right? Can no longer misclick an exit selection when choosing a target for missions, worm riding, or shuttles. For a target for missions. You know what? I think this might have to do with before you would click to do your worm riding, and if you accidentally clicked something, it would cancel what you had selected. So maybe it'll override that now. This will get priority when you're trying to do these missions. I think that's what it means. Nice. New input to cancel current unit actions. C by default. Okay, current unit actions. That'll be a nice way to quickly micro your troops. Any faction can contest an occupation. Any faction can contest an occupation. Oh! So that means... any faction can contest... That, I guess that's a village is being taken. Now, you could step in it as any faction, whether the barbarians or it's I think there were situations where if enemy factions were contesting, some weird stuff could happen, the barbarians could still hold it, or I don't know. So, but sounds like they're changing that mechanic a little bit. Agent traits, Mintax, and Silk Doctors now have distinct visuals on the portrait. Whoopee. New icons. Cool. Relation loss with targeted faction when a mission is detected. I mean, that makes sense. I want it to say something like, I want peace treaties to actually mean something, because it's like you make those treaties with the non-aggression pacts, and the computers just break them. They don't care. They don't care. They just screw you over. Standing loss when you attack a main base. Oh boy, that's gonna greatly make sieging harder. Standing loss. Well, I guess it's not gonna hurt you immediately, but you're gonna be losing that land strat. So I guess if you're going for domination, it's going to change your position on the council. Interesting. Ornis now boost escorted harvesters. I think this is Ornis for all factions but Fremen. I'm assuming that's ornithopters. Ornies. I think this is their abbreviation for it. Now boost escorted harvesters for all factions but the Fremen. I guess it would make sense that the ornithopters, that the Fremen wouldn't really have ornithopters, I guess, a whole lot. I don't know. This is interesting because there's a bunch of text for ornithopters boosting. I don't know if this is a new unit or if that's an abbreviation. So we'll have to look for some clarification for that. Feel free to leave me a comment if you think you know. Option menu reload create its own new save slot. Okay. No longer see faction specific unlock conditions when playing another faction. Yeah, that's nice. It's not like you need to know what the other factions are unlocking. Spying window header. Unify all windows. That sounds like a little UI change. Auto remove outdated traits from structure village traits for old saves. Doesn't sound very relevant. Shuttles now fly at random heights for a more organic feel and look. Nice. Escorting units with an ornithopter is now correctly supported. Must have been a bug around this before, but I guess now escorting unit is going to actually work now with your ornithopter. Visual effect for ornithopter escort and agent traits are now active even when agents are unassigned, but not when captured. So those are those traits your agents have, even if you haven't assigned them to something. My biggest question is that one we mentioned before. Now boost escorted harvesters for all factions but Fremen. So I think this might mean the Fremen are losing that ability, which might make sense since they, you don't really have to micro away from the sandworm as the Fremen, which is a pretty nice benefit of the faction. So I this wouldn't surprise me if that's exactly what this means. Reworks load and save game menu to be easier to use and allow custom names. Okay, so they're changing how this looks. It is a little bit confusing when you're loading what you're seeing. So now it looks like they're gonna change that up a little bit. Harkonnen spying, Dune governor. You can see they've named their resaves. Economic dev tree. That doesn't say what they changed, but I guess they changed something. Again, it would be nice if these notes had just a little more detail. Ranged units and projectiles impact position is more directional. Better combat readability and spectacle. Okay. Impact position is more directional. Rebellions no longer try to liberate the village and only occupy it instead until someone makes them stop. So this means you won't just straight up lose your village anymore. So if there's a rebellion, they'll occupy it, but they won't liberate the village. So that's going to kind of help. Honestly, that's kind of a boost to Harkonnen because they're the ones that get all the rebellions going on and they won't lose their village. They'll just be occupied. That's going to be a huge buff to Harkonnen. Worm riding is cleaner and more fluid. I thought it was pretty good before. Black market and settled Herrig discoveries. This doesn't exactly see what that is. I guess this is a reworks, so that they're reworking it. Paracompass development. Okay, that's a tech. Weapons facility building. Smugglers main base buildings. Combat to drugs adjustments. Hegemony victory is now 30. Okay, that's big. It used to be at 25k hegemony. You won the game. Now it's 30k, making that a little bit harder. AI will stockpile spice a little bit less often. AI targeting balance. Agent's timer is less exponential. New sandworms detection, roaming, and attack delay values. Ooh, we're gonna have new sandworm behavior. By the way, I've got these hot new sandworm emotes in the Discord and in on Twitch. If you're a Twitch subscriber for twitch.tv/FitzBro, I've got a sandworm emote and it does this. It goes exactly like that. So make sure you pick up that sandworm emote. New sandworm. Okay, we did that. Infiltrator, 40 power on first hit. Okay, that'll be nice. Yeah, I kind of felt like this didn't do enough damage before, so that sounds like that's good. Discovery rewards and time to complete adjustments. Okay. Ornithopters cost less Solari. Ooh, more scouting, more ornithopters, more fun, more beep booping. Spying operations, infiltration requirements, new values. Doesn't say whether they're higher or lower, new values. Council Eye now gives +2 max agents, and given agents are now taken to compute total agents. They can't be dismissed or captured. Okay, I guess that has to do with specifically this Council Eye. Vibrations, less vibrations generated while in combat. Okay, craft workshop and improved AI recon. So not a ton of details with all these guys, and I'm not even going to begin to pretend I know what they all do, but those are things, obviously items you're going to take a look at as you dig into the game. And if someone's really fancy and wants to write the full readout of what's changed here, and post that down below or put it in the Discord. I've got a link to the Discord below. We've got channels for each of the factions, along with a Dune general chat, so you can stay up to date. And I'll be posting some of this stuff in there as well. Fixes. Ornithopters sometimes did not listen to a direct recon order and simply moved instead. Okay, I have seen them do this. This is definitely a bug I've noticed. Missile batteries targeting shuttles. Local units factions are now more lore friendly. Interesting. Locals units factions are now more lore friendly. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. Army models possibly not removed from their army. Hashtag coolons. Okay. Lekin Nefud was refunding more for AI. Aha! Wait, isn't that the Harkonnen guy? That's the guy that gives back more resources when you lose? In Harkonnen, I kept saying it felt like they had infinite armies. I knew they get a refund, but they were like, this is probably part of it why. Who's getting more for the AI? So that will be interesting, you Harkonnen AI. I knew they were cheating. I knew it. Long freeze when opening pause window. Terrain deformations around main bases. Military units will now automatically join nearby sieges when they're idle. Oh my gosh, thank you. You know how many times I was standing like right next to a village that I had like sieged down and I forgot to step in it and my whole army just died in the desert? This should hopefully help with that. House Guards passive could be bypassed by some damage types such as the combat drugs. I know what I'm looking for. I keep looking for like a nerf to the ceasefire plus poison the reserves. You can see it still could be in here. Crash when trying to display multiple saves. Okay, just a few like minor changes here. A faction under non-aggression pact cannot contest an occupation of the other part. Okay, now I said I was hoping to see some non-aggression pact changes. I've got a little one here. So you can't contest their occupation if you've got a pact with them. So I guess you have to probably wait till it's over, I would imagine. Interesting. Crowd manipulation can't be launched on a village while its militia is out. So you can't use the manipulation on them while their militia, I'm assuming, is like out fighting, I would imagine. Update there. Units stealth. Okay, some units have been changed. Stealth drone unit has lost 100 health. Gone up to 3 power. Down 1 armor. Drone range has been increased and upkeep reduced. So a lot of changes to the stealth drone there. The Federican armor. Okay, Fremen have been very strong. I know that. The Federicans, they're like elite unit. It has 1 less armor now. Elite militia, they went down 1 power. Mercenaries melee is greater than range. I'm guessing that was a buff. I don't quite say what that means. Mercenaries new passive. Killing an enemy unit grants 10% power and +1 armor. times 5 stacks max. Okay, so that is going to give you a little more incentive to train that mercenary. They have 100 less health, 1 less armor though. Okay, but you can train them faster. So some big changes to mercenaries, drones, Fremen, Vatican. Also a lot of balancing quality of life fixes and changes that could not be listed. Okay, guys, wow. Well, that was a ton to unpack there. I mean, obviously, a lot of stuff, some of this with very little detail. So, you know, I did my best to share my insights into this, but I hope you're excited about community update number 1. I'll be posting this link to here in the Discord down below. Make sure you join our Discord. Look for those Dune channels. I also have content for Age of Empires 4 if you want to check that out, Age of Empires 3. But hope to see you involved out here in our Dune discussion. And if you liked the video, leave me a subscribe, give me a comment, and hit that like button. I greatly appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you over live on twitch.tv/FitzBro. Thanks for tuning in.